the one, the only Benzion. Good evening and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, Iyun with Benzion. Tonight's daf is Sotah, daf Zion. Not Zion, daf Vav. Tomorrow's daf Zion for me at least. Vav. It's probably daf Gimel for a lot of people. Daf Vav deals with a statement of Rav Sheshes makes on Vav and Aleph about the Mishnah in the middle of Vav and Aleph. Rav Sheshes says that Sotah sheish la'edem linas hayam ena mayim boat genosa. Sotah, right? Edom saw that she's secluded. She's going to the base of Mikdash. She drinks the made Sotah and she's acquitted seemingly. Nothing happens to her right away, at least. So if she has Edom that saw her commit adultery, even with someone else, presumably according to most Rishonim, they saw her commit adultery, not just secluded though. Saw her commit adultery, but they haven't come to the base of Mikdash. They're not there yet. They come maybe afterwards. The water won't test her. It's a possibility. The reason she didn't die, she's really tmeya, but the waters won't test her. They won't test her because there's Eidas, and he proves it from a pasuk. Pasuk says, "Ve'ed ein ba," the lake of the other ba. There's no one that saw it. If there's someone that saw it, even if they're not here, it won't test her. The waters won't work. Now it's a very specific language. Ein boat genosa. Sounds like the process doesn't even start. The waters will test her. What do the waters test to see if she's guilty? If she's guilty, like the pasuk says, like her belly will explode and she'll die, and her thigh and belly will explode and she'll die. Nafla Yerefa, her thigh will fall off and her belly will explode in some cruel death. And if not. But here Rav Sheshes is saying it's possible that she's really guilty, but the reason she didn't die is because there's Edom Dinas Hayam. Now, the Gemara has a long discussion on whether Rav Sheshes is correct or not. At the end, the Gemara brings a brisa on Vavam and Beis towards the bottom. Tanya Kavasi the Rav Sheshes. V'lav taimei. There's a brisa which accords with the opinion of Rav Sheshes, but not for his reasoning. A different source, seemingly. Now, it doesn't say lav mi oso pasuk. Lav mi taimei. It sounds like a different reason. It really is a different reason. I'll see in a second. And he has a different pasuk. Tahora, the pasuk says, V'im lo nitma ha'isha o tahori, if she's not tmeya, meaning she didn't die after she drank the bitter waters. V'tahorahi, it's like a repetition. She's not tmeya and she's tahora. V'niksa v'nizra zera, she'll be cleansed and she'll have children. So the Brisa says tahora. Why is the extra word tahorahi? If she's not tmeya, she's tahora. Tahora v'lo shleish la'edem dinas hayam. One of the reasons, there's three things that's excluding. One is excluding, one of the cases excluding is where there's Edom that saw her committed adultery, but they're in Medinas Hayam. They haven't come to Beistin yet. We don't know that's true. So in that case, the pasuk's telling you that even though she'll live, right, she's not gonna have children. So that's like Rav Sheshes, right? In a mayim boat genosa, but it doesn't say in a mayim boat genosa in the brisa. I would like to suggest that there's a difference between the reason it says v'lav mi taimei is there's actually not just a difference in source where they learn it from, but actually a practical difference between them. That Rav Sheshes uses a language in my boat that the process doesn't even start. The war doesn't start. Not only that, right? Even if she's guilty and the Edom Dinas Hayam, right? And the Edom don't come for 10 years. They might not come for 10 years. We don't know about that. It's possible she'll go ahead and have children. She could have children. The process doesn't even start. Mei Sotah is not boat genosa. Doesn't work in that case. And therefore, she can continue as like a regular woman having children. There's no curse in the Torah. According to the second brisa, that's precisely what the pasuk is saying. Tahori is talking about a pasuk, right? She has to be completely pure to have children. If she is a little tmeya, I mean, even though they haven't come, and they're not going to come for 10 years, she's not going to have children. That's the thrust of the pasuk. They tell you she's not going to have children. So there's a practical nafkamina that she's, in practicality, she's not going to have children. According to the second brisa. So according to the first brisa, it's possible she'll have children. Now, okay, so you'll tell me, it's nice to figure out if she'll have children or not, whatever, but one nafkamina is if she has children, does that completely disprove the Edom? The Edom come 10 years later, she had children. Right? According to Rav Sheshes, doesn't disprove the Edom because the water doesn't work when there's Edom Dinas Hayam. She had children. It doesn't prove. According to the second explanation, if she has children, So the Adam come 10 years later disproves them. Because the pasuk guarantees that if there's Adam Dinas Hayam, she's not going to have children. She has children. That's one nafka. I mean, it would discredit the Adam. That's a very big nafka. And secondly, Tosfos raises the point on Vav and Aleph, right? How many Adam do you need in Dinas Hayam in order for the water not to be Botkinot? Because technically, like we learned at the beginning of the Masechta, even one aid that says she committed adultery is enough. That she's asura to her husband, and she doesn't even drink the Mei Sotah. One aid is enough. Aid ain't ba, shtei aidim no, but one aid is. So Tosfos says theoretically yes, it does. Even though it says aidim dinas hayam, two aidim sounds like. Even one aid dinas hayam would also in a mind boat, but I don't think that's true. I think according to Rav Sheshes, who says in a mind boat, the water doesn't even test her at all. I think you need to say, and therefore it's possible she'll go and have children, right? She can have children. She's a regular woman. I think you have to say that's a complete proof. It has to be a proof that the Torah. It's a birur. It's a proof. Is a birur. It's mavar. It clarifies something. It's not a suffix at all. And it's just this is on a nihuk. Like this is how we rule in such a case. It clarifies the proof, even though a proof is not 100% proof. Adam is not just two people tell us it's not. I don't think it's 100% true that we assume it's true. I think it's 80% true. But that's proof in the Torah. You can't prove everything 100%. It's beyond the reasonable doubt, right? Beyond the reasonable doubt. That's 75% is a reasonable doubt. 80% is beyond the reasonable doubt. 80% proof. That's enough, according to the Torah. According to the Torah, beyond a reasonable doubt is enough. A proof. And that's true. That's vadai. The Torah says it's a vadai. So I think you need that. Right? You need that to say that's the reason the Gemara says Adam, right? It was two Adam. Because if there's only one aid, the reason she's asura to her husband is not midin birur, it's midin nihug. Right? Like the Gemara says, Raglayim ladavar. He was makana her, he warned her, and she was nisra to do Adam. And there was an aid that saw her, right? Aid that saw her, so Raglayim ladavar. Normally, aid echad be surin is a chazaka. It's an assumption. It's still a chazaka over here, but because you have two chazakas working together, so therefore we rely on it over here. But it's technically not, at the end of the day, I don't know if it's a proof. I'm not 100% sure. Even though I said in the previous deal in Benzion, I think maybe two chazakas come on the other might be a proof. I'm not so sure about that 100%. Maybe it's not a proof. If it's possibility, it's not going to put it as a proof like shtei edim. So therefore, maybe according to the second Bryce, right, all you need is one aid who knows the B'dinas Hayam to ensure that she'll have this curse that she won't have children, right? One aid, right, meaning the mayim will be bodekota, right? According to the second Bryce, the water does work, right? If there's shtei edim, so there's no reason for to start the process of Sotah. It's for sure she committed adultery. Sotah Sotah's only on a suffix. Sotah's not on a vadai. It's a vadai. Why are you doing the process of Sotah? The water doesn't work, right? That's only there's two aid. There's one aid. So then, if you could say there is a process, we don't say B'Torah's vadai. There's no, right? We assume there's no Sotah over here that she committed adultery. We're not 100% sure. So therefore, the water would be bodeker, and it would work that she wouldn't have children. She wouldn't die, right? She wouldn't die right away, but she wouldn't have children. So maybe according to the second explanation, one aid would be enough that the Mayim made both, So not that Mayim goes to that. She wouldn't have children. Lord would be bodeker. But if there were two aidim, then if there were two aidim, it could be that it could be that's what the Bryce is saying. It could be there's two aidim, the water wouldn't be bodeker. But according to the first explanation, Rav Sheshes says the water wouldn't be bodeker. And the second one, I'd like to say that it would be bodeker, but only partially, and therefore probably one aid would be enough. Also, to be Medina Zayam, you don't need two aid in Medina Zayam. I hope you enjoyed tonight's share. See you in the next one.